Of all the different blogs and Substacks that I subscribe to, my favorite is What is Called Thinking by Zohar Atkins. And to me, Zohar Atkins is the thinker, the philosopher who is the most creative, the most generative, the most prolific that I'm personally aware of today, just in terms of the creativity and the fecundity and the depth and penetrating insight of his writing. Very strong recommendation from me. So a few days ago, he posted to his Substack an article, a blog titled A Fact-Based Feeling. And it starts as follows. The night of June 17, 1815, Napoleon could not sleep. He had gone to bed early, intending to rise at 1 a.m. and begin the assault on Wellington's lines before dawn. Soult came to him twice and was turned away. When Napoleon finally gave the order to advance, it was nearly noon. The ground soft from 2 days of rain, the Dutch-Belgian forces already reinforced, the moment already gone. He spent the morning signing routine administrative papers. Victor Hugo, who made Waterloo the hinge of Les Miserables, understood what historians fumbled. Quote from the book, "Providence needed only a little rain, and an unseasonable cloud crossing the sky sufficed for the overthrow of a world." End quote. Yes, the weather conditions impacted the battlefield, but Hugo was writing about the mood of a man at breakfast. And through that mood, the fate of Europe. Wellington wins because on the morning that decides the century, something has gone out of Napoleon. And I'll stop reading from the blog post there. He goes on to talk about the way the same battle is described in War and Peace by Tolstoy. He then connects this to the biblical word ruach, which means spirit, and appears apparently 400 or so times in the Bible. And he talks about the different ways in which it's used and the way in which it often seems to reflect a kind of a mood, a kind of a spirit. And he writes just so interestingly, powerfully about how within the Bible, the biblical literature, the spirit, the mood can be this lever of history. He then connects this to Heidegger's Being in Time. Quote, "In Being in Time, Heidegger writes that mood is the prior disclosure of the world, the way we always already find ourselves thrown into a situation that has a tone before we think about it. Mood is the condition of perception, anterior to cognition, anterior to choice. When a man says he had a feeling about something, he is describing something phenomenologically exact. The world has already been given a tone. Certain things already felt urgent before any evidence was assembled. The feeling came first. The facts were recruited afterwards. Heidegger calls it being thrown." And he ends this brilliant essay with the following connection to current events. Quote, "Most recently, the White House press secretary said Trump's decision to attack Iran was rooted in a feeling based on facts." Once again, it's an example of how the mood of the autocrat is a lever of history. He concludes, "Whether you're religious or secular, you have to admit that mood challenges our sense of agency and free will, and pointing to forces well beyond ourselves. If you want to monitor the situation, monitor the REM cycle of the king, or front-run the dream analysis."